New York Governor Kathy Hochul currently speaking in reaction to, of course, the apprehension of the subway shooter here in New York. Grateful the subway shooting suspect is apprehended, says Kathy Hochul, and she directed all state agencies to assist in the investigation, she says. Meanwhile, of course, we want to get more of a focus on what, of course, now becomes of one Frank James, and we addressed that with New York criminal defense attorney and former Brooklyn prosecutor David Schwartz. David, great to have some expertise here, because we understand that there is one charge thus far, a federal charge, being, of course, coming from federal prosecutors in Brooklyn, a terror-related offense, of course. Just dissect for us what exactly now is being put upon the 62-year-old.
Sure, of course. So, first of all, we have an arrest, and we have a federal terrorism charge. There's also state terrorism charges, too, but the feds are taking the lead on this. Bottom line is a crime of a mass shooting on a mass transit system meant to intimidate a civilian population is, in fact, the crime of terrorism. So any initial statements that were made that this is not a terrorist act, it certainly was a terrorist act to start. This is a crime of terrorism. This defendant had the entire city of New York in lockdown, up in arms yesterday, and it certainly intimidated a civilian population.
And we heard, of course, from Breon Peace, who represents the U.S. Attorney's Office for this particular district in question. I am curious here as to whether you think that this will pretty much be a case that stays in the federal government's hands, or we could maybe see other charges filed by state authorities as well.
Well, there could be charges by state authorities. The federal case would come first under this circumstance. So there could be multiple cases filed. I do expect the Brooklyn DA, Eric Gonzalez, to be working hand in hand with the U.S. Attorney's Office and to figure out how this case is going to proceed. But it looks like it's going to proceed in the federal courts under the federal terrorism statute.
How do you expect this case to play out? There was a call from New York officials at the end of their press conference. They're asking for witnesses to come forward with more information. What else are they going to collect as evidence here?
Right. So this is just the beginning of the investigation. They certainly have enough to hold this defendant. But then, of course, it comes down to building up your case as a prosecutor. And right now we're in the initial stages. There's so much evidence to collect. There's so much DNA, blood evidence, all types of physical evidence on the scene hasn't even yet been examined yet. So there's so much of that. There will be eyewitnesses. There'll probably be a lot of identification procedures, and certainly the feds are going to build up their case against this defendant. And of course, this defendant is always presumed innocent, like any other defendant, and the U.S. attorney has to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, and he will have defenses, possibly psychiatric defenses, the way I see it.
Well said, well reminded. Of course, at the briefing, they went at length to describe some prior arrests that had occurred in New York and New Jersey, but went on to sort of say that he'd been identified across many different states. From your perspective, what becomes of that? How much does that build within the narrative, and how much do we have to keep on addressing that someone is innocent before being proven guilty?
Right, so his prior crimes will be the subject of pretrial hearings. Certainly the defense is going to want to try to keep out his prior crimes, and many times defense attorneys are very successful keeping out prior crimes from those prior crimes reaching the jury. Of course, this is going to be a case, not only a trial in the courts of law, but it's going to be a trial in the court of public opinion, as we all know, with these high publicity cases. So certainly his prior acts, his prior crimes are all going to come out in the court of public, in the public arena court.
Right.
And certainly everyone's going to know about that. And there's going to be a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking, saying the writing was on the wall.
Yeah.
When you finally look at the Facebook page and see what led up to this.
Okay, well, let's talk about that here. I mean, we know prior crimes are always tried to be entered into evidence at times. We also know that this suspect posted several videos about a variety of things. We don't have to get into the individual details of it, but how admissible are those types of social media posts in a case like this?
Oh, yeah. So the social media posts, his mental status, state of mind leading up to the crime will be a very relevant evidence here. And I expect there will be a pretrial hearing. The defense is going to try to keep it out. But I suspect that the prosecution will win the day on that one. And all of those Facebook videos, social media videos leading up to this act, this despicable act, will be admissible in court.
All right, David, really appreciate you taking the time to give us some insights here into the next steps in this case. David Schwartz there, he is a New York criminal defense attorney and a partner at Gersman Schwartz, also a former Brooklyn prosecutor here. All right, we've been covering this story here all day long, a criminal story that is now progressing to the next stages. Of course, we are a markets show, and we intend to actually cover the markets as we count you down.